Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today we are going to talk about the Islamic Fintech. Before we go to the Islamic Fintech, I will explain the meaning of Fintech. What is meaning of Fintech? Do you know what is meaning of Fintech? So Fintech is financial technology. Financial technology is used to describe new tech that seeks to improve and automate the delivery and use of financial service. At its core, Fintech is utilized to help companies, business owners, and consumers better manage their financial operation, processes, and lives by utilizing specialist software and algorithms that are used on computers and smartphones. For example, we use GrabPay and Touch 'n Go e-wallet. GrabPay and Touch 'n Go e-wallet is also the revolutions of Fintech. By using Fintech, we do not have to go to the bank and just using our smartphones and our computer. What is the difference between Islamic Fintech and Fintech? So, Islamic Fintech is one of the innovations in Fintech. Both Fintech and Islamic Fintech share similar definition. Islamic Fintech are also known as Sharia Compliant Fintech, Sharia Fintech, and Halal Fintech, which are all bring the similar meaning. Basically, Islamic Fintech carry the same restriction as product in Islamic finance, which must be free from the prohibited elements such as maisir, gharar, and riba. What is the meaning of P2P? P2P stands for peer-to-peer. In a P2P network, the peers are computer systems which are connected to each other via the internet. File can be shared directly between systems on the network without the need of a central server. In other words, each computer on a P2P network becomes a file server as well as a client. For our information, P2P is the biggest product in Islamic Fintech. For example, PayHalal. PayHalal is the world's first Sharia-compliant Islamic payment gateway that facilitates all of your payment transactions by eliminating riba and gharar. Okay, next B2B. B2B is business to business. B2B is a transactions or business conducted between one business and other, such as wholesaler and retailer. B2B transactions tend to happen in the supply chain, where one company will purchase raw materials from another to be used in the manufacturing processes. Example B2B in Islamic Fintech is Zilzal Trade. So, Zilzal is a global B2B e-commerce platform connecting halal suppliers and buyers around the world.
Hi, my name is Siti Nur Umairah, binti Norhisham. Just now, Amni has explained to you the definition of Fintech. In this part, I will continue to explain the pros and cons the application of Fintech. Before that, I would like to briefly explain the role of Fintech. With the development of time, Fintech has been widely used, especially in finance. So the implementation of Fintech covers almost all aspects in finance. And Fintech is actually a terminology that covers a wide spectrum in finance or financial services. There are a variety of Fintech, but it is normally categorized vertically, meaning the channel or specific service. This vertical Fintech can be categorized into 6 areas, which include payment, financing, investment, insurance, remittance, and lastly, which is still in testing phase, is blockchain, also known as crypto. We can see here, Fintech make many things become easier because everything is at the point of the finger. Fintech is not replacing humans, but helps humans to make choices and also help to save time and energy. Alright, next, let's move to the advantages and disadvantages of Fintech. I will start with advantages first. Number 1, it is time saving. Carrying out the financial transaction and procedures through online means help to save time as they are much more faster. Through automated process, the day-to-day efficiency of the companies is also increased. Nowadays, everything can be done by using a smartphone. It just takes a few minutes or seconds to transfer money in someone's account, unlike the traditional method of banking, where you have to go to the bank, take the number, and wait for your turn for a long time. Also, in today's era, the time is so precious. By the application of Fintech, time can be saved and use of energy can be reduced. Second, fintech offers flexibility. Using technology in the financial sectors is very flexible and convenient. The user interface are quite simple. Fintech allows people to perform all kinds of operation and transaction from anywhere and anytime that we want in a very simple way. For example, being able to request a loan from home with just one click and no paperwork. Sounds good, doesn't it? Compared to the traditional method, you have to go to the bank and lots of procedure that you have to get through. Number 3. Fintech is also provide personalization. With fintech in the market, every consumer can get personal attention and make changes according to their will and what they comfort. Most likely, if a user able to detect a problem in their financial environment, they will already build a startup designed specifically to offer a customized solution to the consumer. Fintech firms is not only enjoy lower operating costs, but they can more easily react to customer individual needs because they have greater access to a range of information about them. Okay, now we have done with advantages of fintech. Now let's move to the disadvantages of fintech. First, it is lack of security. As all the procedures and transactions are carried out through the internet, there is a threat of cybercrime. Even though the companies work day and night in order to provide a secure environment to the consumers, there have been cases of hacking and virtual fraud in the past. This is the biggest disadvantages of financial technology over traditional bank, as many still feel that the latter is more secure and reliable. So as we know at the bank, they have alarm, security guard and safety vault to protect their property or money. Second, there are some people who still lack of knowledge and resources about technology, especially the person who live in rural area. Even though the level of penetration of fintech in the business and financial fabric is growing, there is still a wide sector that does not know what they are, what their benefits, and how to use them. Such people are not very well equipped with the modern ways and can feel left out and left behind. Also, even though the internet has reached many parts of the world, remember, there are still few people who are still immune to such things. They neither have proper knowledge nor resources. Furthermore, the application of fintech mostly requires access to the internet. Not all the people have proper facilities when it comes to the internet, so it might give some difficulties for some people. I guess that's the point that I can share with you. Let's move to the next presenter.
The scope of fintech service: firstly, banking, investment and saving, and payment. Fintech in banking. Fintech is equipping the banking industry with tools that make it more efficient than ever before. Nowadays, everyone with a smartphone, so there are a lot of applications of fintech is available that we can use and download for online banking. For example, application of fintech in banking is e-wallet. E-wallet is a virtual wallet in which we do not need physical money to make payment or fund transfer. Generally, we can use an e-wallet to make cashless payment for many things, such as paying bills, transporting, foods, groceries, and behavior, or even we want to giving a donation to charity. There are two types of e-wallet. Firstly, bank, and second is non-bank e-wallets. Firstly, bank e-wallet. Bank e-wallet is a virtual wallet provided by commercial bank which is linked to the customer debit or credit to account to maintenance with the bank. Second is non-bank e-wallet. Non-bank e-wallet in our country such as Shopee, Lazada, Touch and Go and others. Next, e-wallet is mainly used for payment and e-commerce. Thus, this will involve various transactions and contracts between parties and give rise to another Sharia concern. But wallet is ensuring that all transactions will be entirely free from elements of riba, gharar, and maisir. E-wallet provider companies are not allowed to use e-wallet deposit money for any kind of purpose unless the transaction is done by the e-wallet user only.
Thank you, Nurain Nadia, for your explanation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Nur Azwani binti Faudzi, and today I am going to continue to explain to all of you about investment and saving, and the last one is payment in fintech. First of all, I will explain to all of you about investment and saving. It can be seen that there are a lot of improvements of the application of investment and saving. For the Islamic business, we have Hello Gold, Wahid Invest Malaysia, Sedana Assalam Capital, Atis Capital, and so on. But today I'm going to explain Hello Gold and Wahid Invest Malaysia. What is Hello Gold? Hello Gold is a startup that creates simple and accessible gold products for everyone. It founded in 2015 and headquartered in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Hello Gold built the world's first Sharia-compliant gold digital application that changed the way you buy and sell gold. Hello Gold is a mobile application that allows you to buy and sell gold on a single platform for as little as RM1 Malaysia. You can manage your account easily and enjoy competitive buying and selling prices in the market. Hello Gold is certified Sharia compliant by Amni advisors. All the operations and processes are in line with the Sharia standard on gold. The Sharia standard on gold was developed together with the accounting auditing organization for Islamic financial institution AAOIFI, the World Gold Council, and Amani advisors. As we know, gold is a ribawi item, which means those who buy it need to be careful and make sure it meets certain conditions under Sharia law. Hello Gold meets two very important conditions, which is it is backed by physical gold that is fully allocated, and the process of buying and selling physical gold is completed in the time allowed by the standard. Which Islamic body or organization certified Hello Gold as Sharia compliant? Amani Advisors is the Islamic organization that certified Hello Gold as Sharia compliant. The firm is led by Datuk Dr. Muhammad Daud Bakar, who is currently the chairman of Sharia Advisory Councils at both Bank Negara Malaysia and Securities Commission Malaysia. Next is Wahid Invest Malaysia. Wahid Technology Sdn Bhd. Wahid is a digital investment manager that aims to provide an efficient and halal investment platform. This platform will allow investors from all income brackets to invest their savings ethically and efficiently. Who certifies Sharia compliance? It is Dr. Aznan Hassan, who is currently an associate professor at IIUM Institute of Islamic Banking and Finance KL campus and the chairman of the Sharia Committee of Member Islamic. He is also the current president of Association of Sharia Advisors in Islamic Finance. We move to the next topic, which is payment. Nowadays, it is easy to transfer money to everywhere around the world. It can be performed through payment companies such as PayPal. PayPal is one of the famous methods to transfer and receive money through online, but it do not receive a favorable response among Malaysians because online transaction and online purchases may be questionable for some citizens. PayPal have two types of account, which is personal account and business account. The most common account is personal account. If you just need to make a purchases or send your money to your family or your friends, personal account is probably for you. This account is free and has a limit to withdraw the money, and many people use this account because it is easy to use in trading. Business account is the most expensive and have a lot of benefits from PayPal. This account is suitable for people who is doing business online. Okay, now I am going to explain about eZakat Pay. eZakat Pay is an online financial transaction platform that connects between banks in the payment of zakat to the Selangor Zakat Board (MAIZ). There is no registration and payment to use eZakat Pay. Payers only need to have a bank account, have an ID, and password and can make payments online at the bank. Currently, there are 6 major banks in Malaysia that can accept payments, such as CIMB Bank Berhad, Malayan Banking Berhad, Public Bank Berhad, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, Hong Leong Bank Berhad, and RHB Bank Berhad. The payer is not charged any additional charges if paying zakat using this method, but there is a minimum limit of 10 ringgit Malaysia for each payment through this method. For zakat payment, the payer only needs to browse the e-zakat portal at www.zakatselangor.com.my and click on e-zakat pay payment to pay zakat. Payers must first have an account at the banks involved before they can proceed with the payment. Follow the steps provided and then payment of zakat has been done. That's all from us. Thank you for listening.